Hey, Friday morning, little after 11, it's time for the Sicilian Con.
That's right.
Right?
On this beautiful Friday.
Oh my God, this week the weather.
I know.
Oh,
Gorgeous.
I mean, incredible. I just want to compliment the Salem Little League. I'll tell you, those kids, man, I'll tell you, they're never going to forget that experience for the rest of their lives.
That was similar. Am I on?
Yeah.
Oh, wasn't that similar to like 20 years ago? Andover was in the Little
Andover
League too?
was in,
Yeah.
But it was like 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe even a little longer.
No, not quite as long, I don't think.
Okay.
But I don't know.
But you're absolutely right, Mike. For
Jeez, Mary and Joseph.
those kids,
I'm sorry.
They'll never.
I have a problem with the Little League World Series,
Why?
League World Series on
Why?
ESPN. It's
Why?
too much for those kids.
so much pressure.
Too much.
So much pressure.
You boot a ball in the Little League World Series on national TV, you never live it down at home. And ESPN's making a ton of money off these kids playing baseball. Just think it's a little too much. Let them play.
I mean, when you're the 20th best Little League team in the world,
Yeah.
are you serious?
So I, for some reason, I watched some of it. I know I was watching Hawaii and Florida.
That picture, that kid, the Hawaii had,
Very good.
man, 5'11". He's
Yeah.
12 years old, 171
Yeah,
pounds.
yeah. But how far did I know they went? But how far did they advance?
I don't know.
Salem
I don't.
advance?
Oh, Salem?
Yeah.
They got bounced out the next game.
So they only
They
played
lost-
2 games.
They lost
Okay.
to Hawaii and then they lost.
They lost. Okay.
Yeah. But Tony, win, lose, or draw.
No.
Jeepers creepers.
I understand his point about being pressure as a college, high school lacrosse official. I understand the pressure on these kids, especially during playoff games
Yeah.
where everything gets ratcheted up. I can only imagine what the pressure must be on those kids that are 12 years old.
12.
National TV.
Well,
National TV at that level, and these games are, as you said, single elimination. You
Yeah.
boot a ball, or in some cases you may make a wild pitch or something. I get that, but still, if you ask those kids, I think this is.
Yeah.
If you ask those kids, would you rather have that pressure on TV or not? They'd say, "Yeah, we want to be on TV."
No question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
No,
all
for
want.
sure.
They would
Yeah.
want that experience.
Yep.
Because I see it. I see it in their eyes, but that's okay. But I get your point. There's a lot of pressure.
Just seems like a lot.
Yeah.
For a young kid.
And Tony, you and I both live in the same community, and I just want to give a shout out to the Wyndham High School football team because they're also doing something that's exceptional. They went to Ireland, Lou, and
Did
they're
they?
playing in the Ireland. There's some kind of a tournament that they play. It's global, and Wyndham was chosen to go. And man, I'll tell you, this is so fantastic. Tony, when I was, I think I just turned 16. I was invited to the New England Invitationals, Lou, over at the Boston Garden, the old Boston Garden.
Nice.
And I walked in there as a relatively young teenager and looking up and looking at the banners and I was getting goosebumps.
Yeah.
So you can just imagine, like, with these high school kids, being brought out to Ireland to play football.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible. And that Little League team, we had a pretty decent Little League team, South Lawrence East Little League. And it was kind of unique because I was 11. I was a pitcher, and I played the outfield. And I had hit 5 home runs in 4 games. So the Tribune comes down to take my picture, and they're interviewing me. And they do a nice little spread in the paper, but they spelt my name wrong.
Yeah.
Lomasso instead of ZZ.
Yeah. Your mother must not have liked that one.
No,
But she still cut it out, didn't she?
my mother saved
She
everything.
still cut it
My
out.
mother saved everything. God bless her. She saved everything. I mean, there was a one. I mean, if your name was there, you know what it's
I
like.
know.
I mean, you're a proud parent.
Yeah.
You know exactly what it's all about.
I carry in my work notebook. I carry 2 clippings, and neither are actually from the Eagle Tribune because my oldest son played at St. John's Prep in high school,
Oh,
and I saw there's a photo of him making a stop in a playoff lacrosse game when he was at St. John's, and then my second son played at Malden Catholic. This is both lacrosse, and there's a photo of him. They were playing Beverly in the playoffs, and he was D'ing a kid up. He was D'ing a kid up from Beverly. So I have both of those in my portfolio, those two shots. So. And you're right. Those are the kind of things that you remember for the rest of your life.
My mom.
Are we here to talk youth sports? Or are we here to talk about the Feast of the Three Saints? What are we here to talk about?
My mother, God bless her soul, she came to my first football game when I was playing for Central Catholic in my freshman year, and I had this kid, Tony. More than likely it was an accident, but he stepped on my hand with cleats.
Yep.
And I thought he did it on purpose. And I mean, he really did a job on me. So I got up and I whacked the living bejeebus. I'm beating the living. Of course, I get thrown out of the game. My mother's going to my father, "Where's Mike going? How come he's not playing?"
That kid deserved it.
We're going to talk about the feast.
Yeah, I know. We're going to get there. I was just having some fun with you, Mikey.
Yeah, I mean, we just
Mikey boy.
We open up just shooting the breeze a little bit, and then we get to our guest, and you are our guest. And
well, appreciate that.
For those of you who do not know, this is Tony Palmisano. Tony has been the president of the Saint Alfio Society. 3 years, right?
Year 3.
So you got one more to go.
One more to go.
That's fantastic.
And as the Olympians did in the 4x400 relay, I hand off the baton. I'm handing off the baton. And unlike some of those relays, I'm not going to be dropping the baton. I'm going to hand it off and give a nice transition.
All right.
There you go. I like it. I like what I'm hearing.
There you go. We're keeping the sports theme going here, boys and girls out there. Ladies and gentlemen, we're keeping the sports theme.
Relay, baby. Relay. I like it. I like it a lot. We have a few people that are saying good morning. Andy Parisi. Andy, how are you, my friend? Barbara Cody, my significant other, is saying happy Friday to everyone. That's nice.
John Capioli asked me a question to ask you guys. At one time, you guys were on Facebook Live?
Yes.
And we still are.
Are you still on Facebook Live? Okay, because he didn't think you were.
Yeah.
Okay, so I should text him in the break and let him know you're on Facebook Live. Okay.
The Sicilian Corner podcast on Facebook.
Sicilian Corner podcast. Okay.
That's all you have to Google.
I'll text him and tell him because he said he didn't think you guys were, and I said, all right, I'll ask him when I come in. So thanks for the
YouTube. Like that email I sent you this morning had those links.
Had those links, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a good thing. So you got by the 100th. The 100th must have been an awful lot of work.
Yeah, it was. And as you know, Mike, we started planning. So let's see.
A year ago.
A year before the 100th, right? Because a couple of things that we wanted to do. What I did was I put together a 100th planning committee that began separately with the preparation separately from the feast committee people that were going to put on the feast that year. So that would have been in 22. I put together, like in January of 22, I put together a feast committee, planning committee for the 100th, as well as committees that we're going to put the feast on for 22, because they kind of work together, but they basically work separately.
Right.
And one of the things I had asked the members, I said, okay, put together your wish list of all the things you'd like to see happen for the 100th.
Good move.
And then we said, okay, let's pare this down. Let's see how we can fund it. And then let's find an opportunity to do it. And so one of the key things was we wanted to bring back the band, Sicilian band, but became much more than the marching band, became a symphonic band with the tenor, Salvatore Bonafini.
Right.
And I don't know, I'm sure they performed at the Tuscan, and they performed at the feast, and then the marching band actually even performed at St. Anthony's the week before, and it was a fantastic experience. And so that was a lot of work just coordinating it, because not only were there 35 musicians, but there was an additional like 18 people, husbands, mostly wives and kids of those musicians that came. So we had really a group of like 50 that we were transporting everywhere.
Where'd you have them stay, Tony?
They stayed at the Basilica.
Oh, St. Basil's?
Yeah, St. Basil's. Yeah, in the dorms there, and it worked out very well.
As long as they're not smoking. When they had the 75th.
Yeah, they smoked a lot. Yeah,
God.
But they still smoked, but they smoked outside.
Yeah,
that's all. It worked out.
That's a good thing.
So that worked out. And so this year, you know, you former counselor on Saint Alfio Society, so you know that we have in end of September, we have a recap meeting, and then we start putting together some ideas. And then once we get into November, we start putting together a budget, and then we start working on it. So I'm just going to, again, my administration is very transparent. We're open. We had a major hangover this year. I'm not going to kid you. There was a major hangover this year in terms of just guys thinking, well, we made it through the 100s. We're done. I'm like, well, if you want this to continue for the next 10, 20, 30, 100 years, we got a feast to run. And so I'm very thankful to all the committee heads this year for stepping in. And in some cases, my vice president stepped in along with myself and a guy named Anthony Fioranti, who's a council member. And we took over the program. We took over the program book, this lovely program book that I gave Lou a copy of, and the people downstairs, and Pat Costa. Thanks for your support.
Everybody got one but me.
But this is going to be a copy.
Oh,
this is going to be.
It's going to be used.
Yeah, well, it's a used copy, yeah. But I'm gonna sign it for you, so it's going to be personalized. I'm going to autograph it for you. It'll be personalized.
You know something you mentioned.
So we did this. So that was one of the areas where we had a little bit of a hiccup in terms of that. But we again, the thing about Saint Alfio's, and you can attest to this. The thing is that when we have challenges, we come together and we work very diligently to come up with ideas and solutions, and we persevere. And that's the last comment I can make about St. Alfio's, is that no matter what obstacle we face, what challenge we face, we seem to find a way to get through it, and we persevere. And so, like I said, we had a hangover, but March and April, we
getting the enthusiasm level up again.
Yeah, we're there.
It's tough.
Last year was, like you said, it was a big year, a lot of commitments, a lot of work for some people, and it was a little bit of a hangover. But we got through, and we're going to have a great feast this year. We got some really new and exciting things to talk about.
Yeah, I just want to mention, though, just to go back a step, Tony, Anthony Fioranti. I'm very close with the family.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, his mother. You're very close to them.
Grace,
was a very nice lady.
God bless her soul.
Yep.
Anthony was extremely, extremely sick.
Yep.
I mean, it was a borderline whether he was going to make it. I mean, that's how bad he was. And yet, as soon as he got his brothers, he started getting involved again with what's going on in the society, because he is on the board. And something, that dedication.
Yeah.
That itself, Tony, speaks volume.
Well, it's nothing that we're talking about. And right now we have several members that are dealing with some serious health issues.
Yeah.
It's been that way for the last couple of years. I mean, in addition to Anthony, who had the heart issue, and then he had a brain bleed.
Yep.
Last summer, Al Espina, our secretary, a good friend of mine, he had the same thing. He had a brain bleed and had to have massive emergency surgery. We've had a litany of guys that have been sick. I mean,
what a great job in communicating with the membership.
Al's doing a fantastic job.
Fantastic
job.
Everything that's going on. Everybody at the same time knows what's going on.
Listen,
and I tip my hat, because
it's a lot of work.
A lot of work.
So Al had some health issues, like you said. Anthony Fioranti's had some health issues. But one of the things that Anthony said to me when he came back and he wanted to run, I had a conversation with him, and I said, Anthony, your health is more important. He said, no, this gives me a reason to get up every morning and to fight. I said, well, in that case, I support you 100%. His involvement, because for some people, everyone who goes through a difficult time needs to find the faith and the strength to persevere. And for him, it was being more active in the society that gave him a purpose. And for that, I complimented him, and I said, I'm behind you 1,000%. And you're right. And he can't be putting up lights and poles physically. He doesn't have that ability. He can't be marching on the. But you know what he can do? He can get it on the computer. He can make phone calls. He can get ads. He can follow up. He can do all the administrative stuff that is just as important. In my mind, it's just as important than the guys that walk around putting up. And I'm not saying the guys that put up the lights and the poles aren't needed, but everyone has a strength and everyone has a capacity. And whatever that capacity is, I'm getting to a point now where, in a couple of years, I don't put up poles now anyways. But the point is, that's not what my strengths are going to be. That's a job for the younger guys, right? But the administrative stuff is something that I'm going to continue to do as long as I can do it. And so everyone has a niche and everyone has an ability to do something based on their capability.
All right.
And that's what
that's
the message I've been sending for 3 years to the membership. As
president, you have to find out what that niche is.
Correct.
Some people are good at selling.
Right.
Ad book ads.
Coordinating the ads.
You look at your vice president, Joey Mariano. When it comes to the $100 raffle, the kid, he does a wonderful job.
Right.
I loved working with him through the years. It was a pleasure. He's very organized, and there's no problems that he can't solve.
Right.
So, you do have an election coming up next year.
Yeah.
And, something, it's good to see the young ones taking over.
Yeah. So I've been diligent about finding a transition plan, because there's, like I said, there's a few of the committee chairs who are getting older and they're looking to transition. So the plan is to hopefully this coming year transition it. That way there can be, like I said, a clean handoff with the baton. Otherwise it's going to drop and then someone's going to have to pick it up. And then when that happens, then it's a little bit of a panic. But we'll get there. Hey,
listen, I'm up against the break, so
go ahead.
I want you to pay attention to some of these ads.
I will. Why? Because I know all these people?
Yeah.
One of the things we're going to have to talk about is your buddy from Grazie's, Oscar Figueroa, is doing the cooking demonstration based on your input and help. So I want to thank you for that. That's going to be on Saturday at 4:30. I hope you're going to show up for that.
I'm actually at the restaurant tonight.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm having dinner there tonight.
You're going tonight? Okay.
Brother. Yeah. Hey, listen, Luke, why don't we listen to what our sponsors have to say, and we're going to be right back, as they say in radio.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
This Labor Day weekend, bring your entire family for the 101st Annual Feast of the Three Saints in Lawrence. The best Italian food, free parking and entertainment, and carnival rides for the kids. Stop by the Beer and Wine Gardens and enjoy a great lineup of entertainment. On the bandstand Friday night at 7, it's the Full Circle Band, followed by Scanzonati at 8. The Bellas perform at 6 on Saturday night, and at 8, it's Ray Mass's Euro Rhythms. At 4:30 on Saturday, stop by the Cultural Tent for a cooking demonstration with Chef Oscar Figueroa from Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, and the B Street Bombers close out this year's feast entertainment Sunday night at 8:30. Come celebrate over 100 years of Italian food, fun, and entertainment at this year's Feast of the Three Saints, August 30th through September 1st in Lawrence. Follow the signs from the Marston Street exit on 495. Sponsored in part by Eastern Salt Company, Trident, Jackson Lumber and Millworks, Tripoli Bakery, Market Basket, Cottadella Funeral Home, JG's Ice Cream and Fun Center, Donna's Sausage, and Wind Waste. Visit threesaintsinc.org.
When you dine at Ristorante Melisse in Amesbury, Massachusetts, you feel at home while enjoying an authentic Italian dining experience not to be forgotten. From the appetizer to dessert, you won't regret your choice. Bring your cravings and appetites. They promise you won't leave hungry or without leftovers for the next day. Takeout and catering are also available. Give them a call or visit them online for the menu, online ordering, and reservations. RistoranteMelisse.com. That's RistoranteMolise.com or call 978-388-4844. Ristorante Melisse, where you're treated like family. Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler,
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
He is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
Welcome back to the Sicilian Corner, everybody. On that Grazie Adlu, you heard Oscar Figueroa's name being mentioned.
Oscar Figueroa, yes.
Yeah. He's going to be doing a cooking demo
At the feast.
at the feast.
That's right.
And
That'll be great.
It's going to be Tony Saturday at what? 4:30?
Saturday at 4:30 under the tent. So
And
last year.
I just want to add.
Yes, please.
I know at Grazie's, this guy, he's like a rock star.
Yeah.
I mean,
You've had him on the
everybody.
show.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. But it's amazing the following he has at that restaurant.
Yeah.
The people
He is a rock star.
because his pedigree is the Boston market. I mean, he was with Lydia Shire. Tony, I don't know how many years, but I remember when he first started in the business, he was at Magnolia's, and that was a great restaurant. And then he went to Beaver's, which was a little bit too smancy for me. They served Tony offals, like the sweet bread.
I know the sweetbreads. Yeah.
That was borderline for me. But
Too
when
fancy for Mike.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't get into that too much.
All right.
But Beaver's outstanding. Tony?
So the question I have, because it seems to be a question in the Northeast. Do you grow up in a house where you called it sauce or gravy?
No.
You don't
You
call
guys
it. Gravy is for mashed potatoes.
That's what I said. It's sauce.
Of course it is.
Yeah, but it's the North End people.
I
A
know.
lot of them call it.
I know.
You know the
Yeah.
controversy.
Yeah.
They call it gravy. I'm like, what is?
We have done so many shows on this.
I know.
It's-
Well, I don't. I'll be
It's
honest.
sauce.
It's sauce. I
Yeah.
agree. So okay, we can move on. We can move on.
Ned Leone would get into it so bad.
It's sauce, not gravy.
People would call in, like especially from the New York, New Jersey area.
Yeah.
I mean, and he would eat them up alive.
But I think part of the and last comment, and we'll move on. And I do want to say something about the Grazie and Oscar's cooking demonstration next week again. And I want to thank you for that because you were instrumental in getting that done for me and for the feast. Is we're more Sicilian up here. And I think we say sauce, but in Boston, they're more mainlanders. And I think they say they're from Calabria or they're
well,
from.
I mean, you got the Fisherman's Feast.
Well, they,
that's
no, but the
Sicily.
St. Anthony's guys I'm talking about, they're on the mainland, right? They're Calabria, and so I think
they're not dedicated.
They say gravy.
Well, they're just wrong.
Louis, I'm with you. I'm with you. They're wrong. I'm with you. All right,
and he's half Irish.
and I
I'm
know
not
that.
Irish.
So anyway,
I know what gravy is.
so listen, here's the deal.
Sugo.
The
Yeah.
Sugo, Sunday Sugo.
Yeah.
So last year, Mike was very instrumental in getting Miriam Esposito, who had a fantastic turnout,
Another
and a
rock star.
fantastic car at the feast. And so I said to Mike, that was really a highlight. A lot of people like that. Is there another celebrity chef in the area that we can invite? And he said, listen, this guy. And so thank you for help coordinating that. And
My
so
pleasure.
we're very excited to have Oscar. Mike Fusco, former president, is also going to be coordinating it as he did last year, the
Good.
cooking demonstration. So that will be under the big tent, Saturday at 4:30 to about 4:30 to 5:30. The cooking demonstration by Oscar Figueroa from Grazie Restaurant. So, Michael, thanks again for your help.
Hey, you know something?
So in
Tony?
October-
you and I go back a long.
So in October, when I say that was a great demonstration, who do we going to get next year? Don't hang the phone up on me.
No, we got one. We got one more.
You got one more? Who's that, Louis?
Yeah.
Potential. You don't want to say?
Melissa, our girls from.
Oh
Melissa.
yeah, they would be great too, if the sisters would come and cook for us.
She would never leave the restaurant on
Yeah,
a
yeah, you're
Saturday.
probably
I'm
right.
going to tell you
You're
that
probably
now.
right.
I could get down on my hands and knees
Okay,
and beg, and it just will not happen.
really.
She controls that restaurant.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
my
you're
gosh.
absolutely right.
It's
But I have a relationship with her too because with this wine business that I'm involved with, Dominic Stanicia,
Yes.
Grapevine. Her wine menu is all our wines. All of our wines in our portfolio, they have in their wine menu.
Really?
Yeah, it's all. Look at all the wines. It's all the Catini Tolos, all the Italian wines, the California wines. That's all our wines from Highland Wines.
How do you do with Tuscan?
We don't do any wines with Tuscan. He does his own stuff. He
Yeah.
has his own label, and then he works with
actually
Martinelli's.
buys the vineyard. He buys grapes.
He buys the grapes, so he's doing a good job. All right, back to the feast. So a couple things I want to do is I always like to recognize people that have been really helpful this year.
Good idea.
So the first thing I want to do is this year my chairs. I asked Wayne Peters again to be my co-chair, and
Good
John
move.
and John Caprioli, who's been really stepped up. So I want to thank them. We mentioned Al Espina, the secretary. He's done a great job with communications. Also, Billy Schofield, who is just a fantastic guy. He's a fantastic
The
treasurer.
best, the
He
best.
does. He's on top of everything. He's on top of everything that we do. I want to thank him. And then there's a bunch of committee chairs that I want to thank real quick. Lighting, electrical, Glenn Gary, Chuck Fuca. The vendors, I want to thank Joe Catulli, Richard Gilmet, that's been helping out. Entertainment, we can talk about some of the entertainment because for many years, for those folks that don't know, many years Mike was the head of the entertainment committee, and Tommy used to help him, but it was really Mike that was doing a lot of the
Well,
legwork.
truthfully, I learned a lot by helping Tommy at
Yes.
the beginning. And, those shows in the comment, Tony,
Fantastic.
jeez, Mary and
I
Joseph.
can't even imagine what those shows would cost us now with the police detail. Oh, and we have a great relationship with the city of Lawrence and the mayor, Brian DePina. But the reality is those shows now would cost us over $100,000. Easy. But anyway, entertainment, I want to thank Joey McQuarrie, Joe Delali, Jimmy Sembataro,
They have
for
a
all their
good
help.
diversified.
And we can talk about that. Yeah,
I mean,
lineup
I think there's a little bit of everything.
for a lot of different people.
There's the Italian aspect of it, which I think is very, very, very important.
Right.
You got jazz. I mean, it's cool.
Right.
It's cool.
So do you want to talk about some of the entertainments?
No.
Okay. So let's see. Joe Bella handles the raffle. I think I've talked about a lot. Dave Cucciaro and his daughter Samantha handle all of our social media stuff and all that. If I think of anybody else as we go through this, I'll thank
You
them.
always forget somebody, guaranteed.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that are involved. Like I said, I want to thank Joe Mariano, Anthony Fioranti for really stepping up and with the program book this year. They did a fantastic job. Hank Zappola does a good job with coordinating the cafe area, making sure all that thing's set up. And there's a lot of guys that do a lot of work. And I want to thank everyone. And I want to thank also, more importantly, I want to thank the families, the wives, the girlfriends, the kids, because it's a lot of time that your significant other is away from the family to support the feast. Otherwise, we couldn't put this feast on. And I want a big shout out to that.
That's a good point.
It's a valid point. And then this year, obviously, I don't know if you're going to come, but next Thursday night is our family night. So the family night, which we started more of a formal family night, we start off with we have a mass at 6:00. Want to thank Father Francis in the shrine and the Franciscans for helping us, the friars for helping us. And then we go right into a dinner under the tent that's catered by Salvatore's. Michael Agricola, who's a good friend of the association and the society. And then from there, we'll go into some entertainment, some acknowledgements, some presentations, and then we'll have a firework display that will be put on by Dominic Messina.
You put on, you honor a member of the society
Yes.
as the president. You decide who's going to receive it. And why don't you explain to the listening audience what that award is?
Yeah, so the award is called the Saint Andrews Award. And that's something that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was initiated when Mike Fusco was the president. And what happened was Mike Fusco and a bunch of the guys went to Sicily with the late, great Pete Messina. And they went to Lentini. And in Lentini, the story goes that the day before the three brothers, Alfio, Philadelphia, and Torino, were murdered by the Romans, that they were so beat up that Saint Andrew appeared to them and gave them the strength to continue. And so the Saint Andrews Award is given to an individual who goes above and beyond anything that's expected of them. And we've had very, very good, excellent candidates over the years. And last year, I gave it, first time ever, I actually awarded it to two people. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but last year I gave it to two people. I gave it to Alice Spina, who, as you have mentioned, without any prompting, has done a fantastic job going above and beyond the communications and stuff that he's done in terms of even working with the band, coordinating with the band. I mean, he was our interpreter the whole time with the band, okay, getting the music and all that. And then the other person that you've mentioned is Anthony Fioranti, who because of his illness and sickness, had done so much work prior. I thought he was deserving. So last year we gave it to two, and it was very nice. This year, to be frank, there's probably two or three guys that could get it, but I'm giving it to one person specifically because I didn't want to. I didn't feel like I wanted that one person to shine. How's that?
I like it.
I want that one person to shine.
I like it.
So that's the St. Andrews Award. And then, as you know, on Sunday, the president has the opportunity to invite 5 other members that have really demonstrated loyalty and dedication and perseverance and hard work to join me on the VADA. Last year, I thought this was just my thing. I thought, and it was very well accepted. Last year, I had asked all of the past presidents of the society to join me. And because I felt like if it wasn't for their hard work and dedication over the last 50 years, we might not have gotten to the 100th.
That's true.
And so that was how I handled it last year. And it was very well received. It
was. And you know something, there was a great gesture and a special thank you to all the past presidents.
Yeah.
And you know something, it's not an easy job. Sometimes it's a thankless job. No matter what you do, you can't please everybody. You know that as well as I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't care who you are.
It's not easy, but again, it's something that's in my DNA. You know, I'm very fortunate to have been a member since 1990. I've seen a tremendous, transition from the organization to how it used to be, to how it was, and I think we're in a good place. And more importantly, I think that we're in a position where we can really sustain this thing, because the one thing everyone says is, let's keep this tradition alive. And all of the challenges that we face, both from an expense standpoint to regulations, is not easy.
No, it's
not. Let's talk about for a second. Let's talk about like the challenges that Boston has faced in the last year, right? So and again, we've developed a very good relationship with Dom Struzzulo, who's the president of the Fisherman's Feast.
What a nice
and
man.
we've developed a fantastic relationship with Mo Fabio and Christian Garino, who are members of the St. Anthony's. He's the president. But last year, again, this is just a fact that they had to overcome. Last year, they had these raves popping up in their feast, and what that really meant was that you had these teenagers from the suburbs who were texting through social media saying, "Hey, we're gonna meet at 8:00 on Hanover Street, and we're gonna shut down St. Anthony's Feast. And we're gonna go there, and we're gonna be disruptive, and we're gonna drink alcohol, and we're just gonna," because that's what they do. I mean, that's what some kids do, right? They find a location, they send it through social media. Next thing you know, you get 500 kids show up at a location, and they're shutting down the street because it's a rave.
Yeah, they had to close at 10:00.
So what happened is that the police, the Boston police, met with St. Anthony's and Dom, and the plan this year was the following. And they've had no issues. The plan was, if you come with the backpack, we're checking the backpack at the entry points.
They have entry points, which is and they never had before.
Right. And the second thing is, if you're under 21 and you're alone, you're not getting. There's no admissions. You can't come in.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So you have to be with a family member, because they're trying to dissuade the teenagers to come congregate and start raving.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's unfortunate, but that's what they had to do. And that's what the police mandated that they did.
Plus, they had to add private security.
Yeah, it's private security as well. So that's additional cost that you have to come into.
It's crazy. You see so many of our Italian feasts going under. Tony, 11:41.
You got another break you got to take?
Yeah, one more.
Take a break.
All right. Good. Louis, you heard Tony. Let's go. He's the president.
Take a break.
Take a break.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Sisters and co-owners Antoinetta and Elisa brought their family authentic Italian recipes from Molise, Italy, and a warm and welcoming dining dining experience to its customers at Ristorante Molise. The combination of their meals made from natural, homemade, fresh ingredients and your time with family and friends together at dinner time is unmatched. Located in Market Square in the heart of Amesbury, they're open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday from 3 to 9 p.m. and are available for private parties during off hours. For reservations, call them at 978-388-4844. That's 978-388-4844.
This Labor Day weekend, bring your entire family for the 101st Annual Feast of the Three Saints in Lawrence. The best Italian food, free parking and entertainment, and carnival rides for the kids. Stop by the Beer and Wine Gardens and enjoy a great lineup of entertainment. On the bandstand Friday night at 7, it's the Full Circle Band, followed by Scanzonati at 8. The Bellas perform at 6 on Saturday night, and at 8, it's Ray Mass's Euro Rhythms. At 4:30 on Saturday, stop by the Cultural Tent for a cooking demonstration with Chef Oscar Figueros from Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, and the B Street Bombers close out this year's feast entertainment Sunday night at 8:30. Come celebrate over 100 years of Italian food, fun, and entertainment at this year's Feast of the Three Saints, August 30th through September 1st in Lawrence. Follow the signs from the Marston Street exit on 495. Sponsored in part by Eastern Salt Company, Trident, Jackson Lumber and Millworks, Tripoli Bakery, Market Basket, Cartadella Funeral Home, JG's Ice Cream and Fun Center, Donna's Sausage, and Wind Waste. Visit threesaintsinc.org.
Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Cartadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Cartadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Cartadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler.
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Dracut, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Dracut, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
Welcome back, everybody. Our in-studio guest is Tony Palmisano, president of the Saint Alfio Society. And we have the big feast, the Feast of the Three Saints, coming up next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Tony is leading the charge. Tony, why don't you take it day by day? Let's start with Friday. Tell us what's happening.
Perfect. Okay, so as folks know, this is our 101st feast. Last year was the 100th. I want to thank everybody out there who's listeners to the Sicilian Corner. I want to thank Mikey. I want to thank my friend Lou and Pat Costa and everyone here for all their support over the years, and again this year as well. So thank you for that. So the feast opens on Friday at 6 o'clock in front of City Hall. We have the opening procession, which then leads us to the church where the members say a prayer in front of the three saints. And then at 7 o'clock, we start with the music, and that is the Full Circle Reunion Band, kind of a rock and roll band. So that's that. The next at 9 o'clock, we only have one bandstand this year, and I'll get to that in 1 second. Why that is.
That's good. No, that's a good thing.
So this year we have Stefano Marchesi. He and his band, it's a Italian jazz music band that were fantastic. Did you hear him last year?
I didn't see him last year, but I saw him at the North End Italian Cultural Center.
And how was it?
I was very impressed.
Yeah, so they're performing.
And it's jazz and traditional Italian music combined.
Oh, nice.
So it's a little bit,
a little bit of
pretty
both.
good. What else we got?
And so he is performing at 9 o'clock, and the name of their band is called Scanzonati. But he and his band members are all professors at Berklee School of Music.
Oh,
and he lives in the North End, so he's performing. Now, the reason we have the one bandstand is because on the other end, after many years of trying to get a carnival or rides for the kids, we finally did that. And I have to thank Joe Delali, who was really the spear happened. So if you see the poster or see the program book, one of the things you're going to see, it says new this year, bold, carnival rides. So we were able to work an agreement out back in late January, early February with a group called Manual Amusements. They are out of Wilbraham, Mass. And the beauty of their is that they bring a complete arcade. They bring rides, they bring games, and they bring like cotton candy machines, candy apple machines. So
you're taking the place where the stage is. You're taking that in addition.
So that area, which is the municipal parking lot, will be filled with carnival rides.
Beautiful.
And this is an opportunity to give kids an opportunity to do stuff.
Have something to do.
Exactly. Yeah. And we have amusements up there. We have games, and we have food stands that will complement those things that the kids want. So very excited about Carnival. We made sure that we had good Wi-Fi connection, because in addition to that, we want to make sure that we have the beer and wine tent is going to be there. Greg Frado, the Crispelli guy, will be there. So that whole area right across the street from Tripoli's, that municipal parking lot, will be filled with rides, amusements, games, foods, beverages. So that end of the street should be a gangbuster.
That's going to be drawing a big crowd up that end, which is good.
And the thing that we also learned is that where the rides, where Fiesta shows would go into the Common, that would be part of Hispanic Week, they were not allowed to go into the Common. So there was no rides this year. So I think there'll be some pent up demand for rides for our festival. So hopefully we get the word out. We also did this year, as we did last year. This is in English. We had a poster this year in Spanish. We went all up and down the community. We had Spanish posters, and
this isn't just an Italian feast. I mean, we're seeing more and more Spanish people,
Spanish family, young Spanish
partaking
family.
In our festivities, and that's important.
Well, it started with the relationship with the friars, right? Because there's a huge community at the Shrine Center of Hispanic families, and we invited them. A year ago, I did a formal welcome. Father Francis, who speaks fluent Spanish, who does the Spanish Mass, we welcome them to come. This year, they are putting food stands out as part of their celebration, as they did last year. So Hispanic food will be out there, Latin food, Spanish food. It's all part of the Shrine Center. And like you said, Mike, we may not speak the same language. We may not look alike, but at the end of the day, here's what we have. We have more, and I always say this, we have more similarities than differences, right? The similarities that we're all Christian, so we believe in God and Christianity and the faith. We're all family, right? We're all trying to raise our families, so with family values, and we're all part of this community. So those are the similarities that exceed anything else that we may have in terms of our differences.
Yeah, that's absolutely. It's all about culture and tradition. Whether you're Italian, whether you're German, or whether you're Spanish, it's all about keeping traditions alive. And you learn a lot from different cultural events. And I think a city is a healthy city the more cultural events that they have.
In terms of diversity. Yeah. Exactly right. Right. All right. So now on Saturday, the feast opens at noon. We have some music at 3 p.m. on the bandstand, Forever the Girls. Then we have Oscar doing his cooking demonstration under the tent, the Saint Alfio's Cafe. 6 o'clock we have the Bellas that are performing.
They're excellent.
And you know the Bellas because that's the gals that you used to work with, right?
Christy Cunningham was
Right.
our past producer
Right.
over at Studio 21.
Right. So they're
Her band, they're excellent. The girls are high energy. They do a nice job. You're going to enjoy them.
and then at 7:30 there's one of the highlights for members and for the weekend is the Torchlight Parade honoring the three saints. That will happen between 7:30 and 8:30 on the intersection of Union and Common Street.
Right.
And then at 9 o'clock we have Ray Massey coming back to your rhythm.
Him, I don't know.
Okay, so he was here a few years ago. They're from Ohio. So what happened was, I'll make this real quick with the remaining time we have. I'll make this real quick. They played here 5 or 6 years ago, and they're very, very good. And they're a little expensive. So what they said was, we're performing on the East Coast, like the week before or the week out, or at some point they're performing.
they're here.
So what they said was, we don't have to come specifically for you. We have two. We're going to reduce our rate, and so because of that,
And that's the way you were able to get them?
that's you're able to get them.
Smart.
They're coming back. So Ray Massey and
Travel,
Feast closes.
housing, it's
Okay.
crazy.
And then I'll go through Sunday very quickly. So Sunday at 10 a.m. we have the Holy Mass at the Holy Rosary Shrine. The procession in front of the church is at 3, the traditional procession. Then there's Sisti Castro and Joan Vani, who's performing at 4:30. Then we have the Moment of Glory in front of the building, which is the big celebration. And then we have the B Street Bombers. Traditional B Street Bombers will be closing out the feast on Sunday night. The other two things I want to mention is the beer and wine tents. I think we're in year 5 now. They've gone very well. We'll have 2 again this year. We have the one in the cafe. We have the one up at the new location up across the street from Tripoli's. That is being handled by Joe Modolo and Joe Delali. They coordinate that with all the family and friends that, again, who support it. And then the feast will have the raffle, which Joe Bell is ahead of our raffle this year. And again, so we don't charge for anything. I mean, obviously the entertainment's free, food, obviously drinks, that's on your dime. But the reality is the biggest fundraiser for us during the feast is the feast raffle.
Yep.
So if you come to the feast, please, if you can afford it, buy a raffle book. That helps.
How much are they?
It's $10 for a raffle book. You get 7 chances, and the prizes
That's
are
reasonable.
And the prizes are ready: $5,000 cash, $1,000 cash, and $500 cash.
You know, you probably don't remember this, Tony, but my first year when I was being sworn in, I had just received my sash on that Sunday morning.
Okay.
And when they did the raffle at night, I won 3rd prize. Which
How much was that?
It was a trip. It wasn't. It was a trip to Las Vegas.
Oh, we did that back then?
Oh,
that's good.
All expenses. But they had me flying on the red eye.
Oh.
So I went to Christine Leone and I said to her, Chris Leone, up in Salem, New Hampshire, and I says, look, what will it cost me? I want a regular flight. I want to get there at a reasonable time. And I'd like to change the hotel. So they just opened the Bellagio.
Oh, nice.
So we were there the first year to Bellagio.
Nice.
It was nice.
Nice. Good for you. Good for you. So the only other thing I want to say, other than again, thank you, and I always end by open welcome to everyone within the Merrimack Valley and Greater Boston area. Welcome to come to our festival. You know, we're very proud of the work that we do in the community. We give away a lot of scholarships, a lot of money to nonprofits, and it's only because of the generosity of the people out there who come and support us. Without your support, we could not do the kind of good work we do in the community without your support. And so I want to thank everyone. I want to welcome everyone to come to the festival. Share the tradition of 101 years this year of the Feast of the Three Saints. Again, we're a tradition is about family, friends, values, community support. That's what we're about. And I want to thank everyone for coming out. And again, final, this past year, we lost really 2 great members. We lost Peter Messina, formerly the owner, chef of the Italian Kitchen. For many years, he was a staple on the street with his Rispelli's. And then we also lost Sal de Bernardinis, who was an old gentleman and was a great member. So again, this year, we're remembering both those men in our celebration.
Sal was actually president of an Elvis group.
Oh, really?
And he had the biggest club organization going of almost anybody in Massachusetts.
Were you a member?
Of course I was. Of course I was. Yeah. Tony, real quickly. A lot of people think all the society does is the feast. There's so many other things that the society is responsible for. Could you just, because they think we're a one pony show.
And I get that. So a couple of things that we do. So I mentioned the community involvement. So again, we were doing this, but we've actually taken it a step further. We are now doing a couple times a year. We're doing meals for the neighborhood, for the North Common Association.
Okay.
So we're providing meals for young families. We have been doing a Christmas party for the neighborhood kids. We used to do a party, Frank. For many years, we did a party for ourselves.
Yes.
And then what really happened, to be perfectly frank, is that the older members, their grandkids were aging out, and there weren't enough, because at one time we had 60, 70 kids. And so what we decided to do is, well, we'll do a party for the members privately, but let's have a Christmas party for the neighborhood kids. And we get 60, 70 neighborhood kids. And frankly, if it wasn't for the gifts that for some of those kids, not all, but if it wasn't for the gift, they get no Christmas presents.
How about Christmas dinners?
We do Christmas dinners and we do Thanksgiving dinners.
See, a lot of people don't know this.
Yeah, we do. We select, again, working through the Friars, we select 50 families
People
that are
deserving.
very needy.
Yeah, needy.
And if these people, again, for the vast majority of these people, these are people that have come from Latin America, South America, and in many cases, the wives are there with the kids, and their husbands haven't even come here yet. And it wasn't for the fact that we gave them complete Christmas dinners or complete Thanksgiving dinners, they'd have no food. And so that's just a couple things. And then we do the scholarships. And if you get the program book, inside the program book, you'll see this year's scholarship winners. I want to thank Paul Blaze and his wife Fran for the scholarship.
He does a wonderful job. I think Wayne was helping him this year, was he?
Well, there's a bunch of us that help him, but the chair is Paul Blaze and his wife Fran.
Yeah, he has been for many years.
Right. And then Bread and Roses, we contribute money to Bread and Roses, and there's probably a list of 15 to 20 other nonprofits.
Which people do not realize.
Yeah,
right?
But if you go in the program book, you'll see
You'll see the breakdown.
You'll see the breakdown of the other nonprofits that we give money to. And the only criteria that we have, and I'll make this real quick before we got to go, the only criteria is that you have to be a registered nonprofit, meaning you have to have a 501c3 designation. And once you have that, then a member of the organization, our organization, can then submit a request to the council on a charitable donation. And those are 99% of the time, those recommendations are approved, and we're giving money to other registered nonprofits to help to support their mission. So one hand washes the other, right?
Tony.
Michael, thanks, brother.
Best of luck, kid.
Yeah, and again, Bona Festa, everybody. Welcome to the feast, and we hope to see you next weekend.
Next week, we're going to have Marianne Esposito. She's going to join us on the computer, and we're going to talk about a few things. And yeah, it looks like a nice show coming up next week too. So I'm looking forward to it.
Good job. And Michael, this is your copy.
It's used, but I have.
I'm going to sign it for you. Here, I'm autographing it.
Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful week.
Here you go. I'm autographing it, Mike.
Shut up for a minute. Bye, everybody. Take care.
Bona Festa. Thanks, man.